Hello there, everyone. I have another story to talk about. And that is China apparently has opened its doors to video games, and not just the knockoff games consoles that we sometimes see in stories like Super Friendo, the Mii, the PlayStation, or the Xbox. But instead, this time we are talking about real game consoles like the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Wii U. Now, this is a big move for China because in the last 15 years, home consoles for the most part have been banned in the country. And the reason that was given for such a thing is that the children who would play them wouldn't grow up to live productive lives and instead would just stay home and play video games all day. Well, like I do. So while I think that it's stupid, I can say at least their hearts were in the right place, that they were only thinking about the children. So, after 15 years of banning home consoles, what could possibly happen to force the hard-fought Chinese into letting the devil devices into their nation's homes? Now don't think too hard about this, because you already know the answer. If you've subscribed to my cynical ass, then trust me, you know the answer. That's right, it was money. Fuck the children and fuck my morals, because I need money. For those of you who don't know, China experienced a big economic boom in the 90s and the 2000s because everybody was exporting all their work to that country for cheap labor. So much so that they became the second highest economy in the world. And after a long period of economic growth, the dam seems to be in its first stage of bursting, as China is beginning to hemorrhage money as the stock market begins to take a little bit of a decline. Nothing big enough to change the world at the moment, but enough to leave the Chinese businessmen, well, a little bit worried. So, China is looking for a little bit of support to hold up the burden, and it would make sense for one of those pillars to be video games, especially since so many of the systems are made in the country anyway. Now, I do apologize for talking about economics here, but I felt that it was a little bit necessary. But even with China throwing their morals away for money, like so many other first world countries do, welcome to the club, China. It does make one wonder just how this will change the gaming industry, because here's the deal. Do you know why so many games star more of a white Caucasian, good-looking male-type guy? Well, that's because white Caucasian countries are the biggest market to appeal to. And I'm not just talking about from a Western developer standpoint. Look at the games that the Japanese have been pumping out in the last 2 decades, especially Capcom. Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, and Metal Gear Solid for that matter. They, along with so many other Japanese games, star white males or white females. Now there is nothing wrong with that. But have you ever wondered why all the big-name Japanese developers are never really releasing games that star actual Japanese-looking characters? I mean, the closest thing they have is something that has been stylized to look more anime-based, and even that you're most likely going to find in like a Square Enix game. Although, to be fair, Square Enix nowadays often has characters that look to have more of a Western mixed with an Eastern look. Okay. I know I'm getting off topic, but I brought that up to point out that games are made that way to appeal to a more Western consumer, because that is where the money is. And just like in China and everywhere else, the lust for money might as well become a sub-religion the way that it is worshipped, our paperback deity. But now, since China has entered the video game market, then I wonder if game companies will begin to put more of an emphasis on appealing to the Chinese sense of thinking. Even if it's just a little. Throw even the tiniest rock into a pond, and it creates a ripple that changes the pond. And China entering the gaming market as a consumer is going to be a big-ass rock. It is literally 4 times the size of America in terms of people. Or to put that in better terms, if you added up all of Europe and all of America, we'd still end up about 250 million people short of China. And there's no way that you can add that many people to anything and not have it change something. Now I grant you that the changes will not happen for years to come, and that's only if China decides to keep their gates open. But most certainly something will give eventually. Whether we get more games like Sleeping Dogs or more games that just go the Mass Effect route and let you create whatever the hell character you like. Either way, it will be something that will be interesting to see. Whew, alright. Well, this has been a fun topic to talk about. I went from video games to the world economy, to why a certain racial structure permeates the video game market, to everyone sells out for money. But if anything, I hope I gave you a look that, whether you like it or not, almost everything is tied to money. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. And remember, if you're willing to listen, then I'm willing to share my opinion. I'll talk to you guys soon.